After many years of trying and failing, PSG have finally won the Champions League. Who knew all it took was getting rid of that Ninja Turtle fraud Mbappe for them to win the Champions League? And not only did they win in the final, they brutally molested Inter. That was the most one-sided final I think I've ever watched. It was men against boys. You have to feel for it. Imagine working a whole season to get to a Champions League final just to lose 5-0. That is peak, bro. That's peak. Imagine being an Inter Milan fan, going to Munich for the final, paying all that money to see your club get slapped 5-0. Bro, football can be dark sometimes. But onto the actual game, it never really looked like PSG were going to lose. They just looked unstoppable. They looked hungry. They looked organized. They looked compact. They looked sharp. They just looked so much stronger and faster than all of the Inter players. I don't know if that's due to the age of the squad or Inter just not turning up. It could be a bit of both, but PSG really just looked like they were taking PEDs before the game, which obviously wasn't the case. It just goes to show how shit Inter Milan was. But let's get on to some of the individual performances. First off, I want to talk about the official man of the match, Doué. This guy can have my children, bro. How the fuck you can drop a performance like that in the Champions League final at 19 years of age? This guy was doing flicks the whole game for fun. He's moving like he's in the playground, bro. This guy's not in primary school no more. He's playing on the top stage of club football, and he's just treating it like it's some kickabout with his boys. And he got 2 goals and 1 assist. That's more GA than Messi has. That's the same amount of GA that Messi has got in all the Champions League finals he's played. That's also because Messi's a fraud, but we won't get into that this video. But it just goes to show how unreal this performance was. And Vitinha, oh my days. I glazed him in my PSG video. He's the best midfielder in the world. He's better than Pedri. He's better than Rice. He's better than, I don't know who the fuck else there is. He was unreal. He was my man of the match. This guy controlled the whole game on his own, which I think it was Doué's second goal. This guy, bro, he was playing FIFA, bro. That was not real. I don't even know how he even keeps the ball like that, because he never even looks like he's running fast. And the way like he swings his arm around when he's running is too funny, but he just never loses the ball. I don't get it. We have Dembele as well. Probably the best performance in the Champions League that I've seen from someone that didn't have a goal. He was unbelievable. His pressing was good. His link-up play with everyone was good. That was a proper false 9 performance, bro. And I think he could have solidified the Ballon d'Or with that performance. Obviously, with the trophy, I'm pretty sure PSG won the treble. He could have solidified the Ballon d'Or with that. I personally wouldn't agree with it. I think Yamal deserves it. But I could see why Dembele would get it after that performance. We have the other winger, Kvaratskhelia. I said this in my PSG vid, bro. I've been a number 1 Kvaratskhelia glazer since 2022. And seeing him score in the final, seeing him finally being recognised as the player that he should have always been recognised as, it was beautiful to see. The first Georgian player to ever score in a Champions League final. And let's be honest, he's the best Georgian player that has ever been. Probably not, but that I can remember. Obviously, we had Hakimi as well. This guy was taking the piss, bro. Hakimi was playing in striker the whole game. Like that, I don't know, bro. PSG, like, the thing that was so great about PSG is they didn't change anything for the final. They played how they've played in every single game before. And that's the best thing you can do in a final. You shouldn't go into a final trying to switch up the way you play, trying to change things, trying to be more conservative, because it will just lead to you being worse. PSG didn't do that, and it showed, because Inter Milan, I feel, clearly did try to do that. They played a lot more conservative. I think they also, in general, just couldn't really keep up with PSG's players. I think PSG's players were just levels above. But I think PSG they just went into the game with a lack of care, but in the best way possible, as in they just knew that they were going to get the job done. And obviously, there's one man that this win probably means the most to, Luis Enrique. You know, I used to hate Luis Enrique because I used to hate Barcelona growing up. But seeing him win the Champions League with PSG after everything he's been through, it was nice to see, man. And I'm glad that he could be the man to bring PSG the first ever Champions League. And I think the job he's done at PSG has been so impressive. You know, he had to deal with losing arguably the best player in the world over the summer. Obviously, him and Mbappe didn't get along as much. Obviously, you've seen that clip of sort of Enrique having a go at him. But he still lost arguably the best player in the world. And he bounced back from it and made PSG the strongest they have ever been. So to do that, to lose arguably the best player in the world and then bounce back so quickly, so easily and rise to the top is unreal. But now, on to the absolutely generational stinker performance from Inter Milan. DiMarco, I said he will go to Madrid in the summer, I said it. If Madrid even put in a €5 million bid for this guy after that performance, mums, is too much. It's too much money, bro. This guy, after that first half performance, bro, he didn't get let back in the change room. He shouldn't have been let back in the change room. This guy should have been weighing outside like a cuck. Inzaghi should not have even looked at him at halftime, bro. He was that shit. What the fuck did you do? I don't know what to do. The only guy on that team I feel bad for is Dumfries, because this guy was moving like Ashton Hall against Barcelona over 100 million minutes, however long they played. So for him to just get absolutely let down by his teammates in the final, I feel bad for. And Martinez, this guy, I've clocked about this guy, bro. He's the biggest fraud I've ever seen. You see, guys were trying to give this guy Ballon d'Or shouts. They were saying, look at the numbers, Ballon d'Or worthy and all that. He's shit. He's shit at football, bro. Every time the whole world is watching, I don't think I've ever seen him do one good thing. I swear down, I'm deep in it, bro. Even in the World Cup, this guy was dog shit, fam. I don't understand how someone can be perceived as such an amazing player but play shit in every single game that people actually watch, bro. Bro, he needs to be studied, bro. And Thuram, I never thought Thuram was good, bro. Watching this guy, he's like the modern day Lukaku, but even shitter. I don't understand how he plays for such a top team, bro. He just looks slow, he looks shit. He's got 99 strength, cool, but so did Akinfenwa, and this guy was baking off in League 2, bro. So Thuram should be there as well, realistically. And trying to play Mkhitaryan in the big 25 in a Champions League final, like, bro. Inzaghi, you're a good manager, don't get me wrong, you are. But trying to play Mkhitaryan in 2025, bro. What's wrong with you? How old is he? Like 36, bro. And he's not even been that sick his whole career. Like, it feels like Modric, yeah, 36, but he's unreal calm. But he's Mkhitaryan, bro. This guy was at Man United, yeah, and he wasn't even that good for them. He was at Arsenal as well. That's why I hate him, bro. I just remembered. I was thinking, why do I hate him? Because he was at Arsenal, bro, during the most depressing Arsenal times, fam. So this guy, I just have a schema of this guy being shit in my brain. But I think the most grief has to be given to DiMarco. This guy looked too bad trying to defend against Doué. This guy, but the first two, okay, the second goal is a bit unlucky. But the first goal, this guy, why is this guy 17 miles behind the rest of his back line, bro? And he keeps every single player on side. Like, what am I actually witnessing? This guy is a top level left wing back, and he doesn't know to step up with his back line. What was I watching, fam? What were these guys actually doing? Calm, PSG were sick, but Inter Milan were just absolute dog shit, fam. I actually did not know what I was witnessing, fam. Bro, and it goes, bro, this supports my theory, bro, that the dunya is ending, bro. We're having 5-0 in a Champions League final, bro. Do you know how insane that is? 5-0. Bro, we don't even... Bro, the game's gone. The game is actually... That's more goals than we've had in the past 5 Champions League finals before this. Actually, no, it's the same amount, but you get my point. How the fuck can you let 5 goals go in your net in a Champions League final, bro? And it could have been 7 or 8, bro. We're moving like 5-0 is generous to PSG. That shit's generous to Inter, bro. That's how shit they were, fam. I don't even remember one shot they had, except for that shit corner chance they had in the first half. Oh my day, bro. And guys were trying to say Inter Milan were going to win this game. I knew it, bro. Why do you think I didn't make a video on Inter Milan, fam? Because they stink. They stink. They got lucky against Barcelona. They're frauds. The only reason they beat Barcelona was because Barcelona's back line is as open as a prostitute's legs, fam. That's the only reason they beat Barcelona. If they, bro, PSG vs Barcelona, you know what? I also don't forgive Inter Milan, because PSG v Barcelona would have fed families, would have fed generations of families, bro. We would have been talking about that game like it's the gospel, fam. But Inter Milan had to rob us of that game and drop the fucking worst performance I've ever seen in a Champions League final, bro. Someone burn that club to the ground, please. I hate that club. I hate them. The absolute cheek to rob Barcelona of a place in the final. Okay, they didn't rob, they won fairly. But you get my point. The absolute cheek. And then drop the worst performance I've ever seen in a Champions League final, bro. What the fuck, fam? Bro, trying to watch the aged midfield try to keep up with PSG's midfield was painful, bro. Barella versus Vitinha. It was the battle of the hairstyles, bro. And there was only going to be one winner, fam. Someone send Barella to Turkey, bro, please. Because that hairline is not it. It's not it. We had the PSG players scoring goals past summer. Like Michael Owen back in that, what was it, bro? That show where he was just slapping goals in against the 13-year-old, bro. Mums, that's what it looked like, fam. It looked like this guy was just, these PSG players were just scoring for fun. Jan Sommer, this guy, you can't even blame him, because the goals he conceded weren't even his fault, but still, like, that's just what it looked like to me. We had Barcola doing fucking TikTok trends on the defenders, bro. Did I lose you? Like, what the fuck was this game, bro? What actually was this, bro? I didn't even get to watch the game. Like, I watched the game, but I was on a train back from Birmingham, fam. And I had to witness this bullshit. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. The final was... It was good in some aspects, but overall it was a disappointment. If you like the video, like the video. If you don't like the video, like the video anyway. Check out my socials in the description. Yeah, that's a new one, isn't it? Make sure you check the description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.